Hi, it's Scott from the Limestone Cowboy. I want to spend a few minutes and to just show you guys a little bit about what I'm doing behind the scenes. I am always working on different game ideas. This one in particular is very special to me. This is my first ever game design. This is one called Rockslides, the Earth Engine. Uh, it's not just special because it was my first design. This is the entire reason I created the Limestone Cowboy, and that was to make geology games. Now, since then, I've taken a hiatus in my geology focus to play different games. And during my playing of these many different games, I've had many of side ideas. I came up with a soccer game. I came up with a game where you have dice buddies and Pokemon, where you upgrade your Pokemon with dice and you fight and battle and collect and train. I call these guys golems, and the game would be called Gargoyles and Golems, or Golems and Gargoyles. Well, you're a gargoyle because I like gargoyles, and there's not enough gargoyles represented in fantasy. So, what the heck is this? It's not Wingspan, I'll tell you that. No, I came up with this before I had played even, what's it called? King of Tokyo. I had only played Catan and Unicorns, Unseeable Unicorns at this point, and I accidentally copied Elizabeth Hargrave by accident. No, this is a game where you are using movement as a resource to turn magma into granite in the appropriate layer. Or if you were to cool down this magma in a higher layer, you would have turned it into rhyolite, and that is scientifically accurate. Or if that magma had been all the way up to the surface, it would have cooled into obsidian, which many of you may know as volcanic glass. And the idea is we're turning magmas into igneous rock, which are worth more points, and then turning those igneous rocks into sediment, gravel, sand, silt, or clay. Or you can go the environment route and produce a mountain or a river. And a river itself can always produce sand or silt to the left or right of it. So there's different ways to build your engine in this game. Then if you want to bury some gravel or bury some sand or silt or clay, and if you happen to have a sedimentary rock in your hand like I do here, you could just swap it out for the appropriate type, and boom. With one card, you have 7 points in your 4x4 grid. Congratulations. The idea is you keep on doing this. You have to match the colors and the numbers and the types and the directions in order to make another rock. But what's cool was that the recipe for every rock type, you don't have to memorize anything. It's all on the card. And let me show you what I mean. So this magma here, on the left, it tells you the type of rock it is, and this is molten rock. So the big color is the orange on the left. And it comes from, meaning it becomes magma from a wild, that's a dark grayish red. A wild, any kind of rock can become a magma. So if I have any rock, let's say I have this rhyolite, yes, if I wanted to downgrade for some strange reason from a 2-point card to a 0-point card, I would have to slide this rhyolite down in order to replace it with this magma. Here's another example. Let's look at, let's say, a felsic rock. Let's look at that first one. Where on earth did I put it? I know I had a sandstone, I had gravel, I had sand. Well, as you can tell, I have quite a few cards that I'm quite a mess, and yeah, that's how it goes when your prototyping. Anyway, let's pretend this green one was pink. If I want to make a granite, first I check, do I have any cards in my, this is my hand. Do I have any cards on my board that have that orange, that are molten? And it looks like, yes, I do have an orange. Now, does it match color? Pretend it does. Oh, wow, look, it matches color. So this is an eligible upgrade for this card. Now, the final step is that up arrow. It means that that molten rock has to slide up into the background color of this card. It's a lot of little things to remember, but once you got it, it's so easy. So that means this is the recipe to make this card. I have to move an orange up into this background. So orange up into this background, which is just gray. And now it's eligible for an upgrade. So I have effectively turned a 0-point magma into a 1-point granite. Yeah, I can show you another example. This sand right here, for example. No, that's a bad example. That has green. Pretend it's pink again. All right. So you have this this sand, and I have this in my hand. The sand is on the board, on the mat. This is in my hand. The blue means it's a sedimentary rock. The yellow means it's sediment. Sedimentary rock are made from sediments. So yeah, the yellow mat on the inside here matches the yellow on the outside there, so that's eligible. Check the right, pretend that's pink. And this is pink, wow, it's an eligible upgrade. Very nice. So what I have to do with it? Oh, move the yellow down into this brown layer? Well, alrighty then. Spend an action point, bam, I move the yellow down, spend another action point. It's sandstone, so I upgraded from a 2 out of 4, half a point card to a 7-point card. And now my board has a total of 8 points according to what we just did. And you keep on going and you work your way up and you eventually get to stronger rocks like serpentine, which were 10 points. And it doesn't even stop there. See how the green is there? The green on the left side means it's metamorphic. Metamorphic specifically from a red type of rock, meaning you make serpentine out of an igneous rock. There are, however, metamorphic rocks worth even more points that come from sedimentary rocks. They would have a blue on the inside. That's the whole game. I made it for kids. It's really simplistic. You're sliding rocks around to produce higher grade rocks through metamorphism, cooling, melting, erosion, lithification, and you have the help of different environments such as, man, you have rivers. If you build a river, you can always put sand to the left or right during your turn. And that's a great way to skip all those igneous steps to making the sand. You can just have the river carry it down from a mountain nearby. What else can you do? You can have events. So let's say during a mass extinction event, you can have a magmatism event or a hotspot, or all kinds of lava thingies can go on. Let me show you one example as I look through my giant fat mess of prototype cards. Hotspot. If I play this card, which goes in this layer, every card enters the board on its native layer, meaning it matches. I am able to, for free, without spending anything, move this one up to the surface, if there's space. A hotspot is what created Hawaii. And so this magma can go all the way to the surface and save a lot of turns. And with this hotspot in my tableau on my board, I can always bring magmas as high as I want. That's a great little engine building card right there. And that's lucky because if I so happen to have a volcanic rock in my hand, I can go ahead and upgrade this for a volcanic rock, which is the highest value type of igneous rock in the game. So that's how you play. The game is played over 13 periods, denoted by the geology time scale right here. And during each period, you have a number of epochs. And these are actual periods and epochs. The Cambrian began about 545 million years ago. And so you have 4 epochs, which represents 4 actions you can do. And then the red ones are mass extinctions. During mass extinctions, you can play event cards for free, and you can play as many as you want. Why do I allow this freedom to play as many as you want? It's because they take up space on your board. And man, you don't want that because now you're limiting yourself. So there's kind of a tough decision here to make. Do I want to just put a bunch of upgrades on my board to let me power the rock cycle easier and more efficiently and faster? Or do I want to leave more room or just build a little bit of engine production so that I can actually move my rocks around? If I have, for example, a river right here, and I have this hotspot, it lets me put my magma all the way up if I wanted to, but this river's blocking the way. Now, crunchy decision time, I can swallow the river with a magma, but then I lost my river. So, I mean, otherwise, if I don't want to lose my river, I'd have to stop here on a later turn, move the magma, then on another later turn, move the magma again, and then use my volcanic rock card to swap it out for the magma. So there is some crunchy decisions here and there, even though I'm hoping it's going to be a very simple game. This is the skeleton of the artwork. I actually have made many more designs for the different types of rocks, so they're easy to distinguish, aside from just the little red color there. These are the little babies. So I mean, I'm trying to show a cycle of progression. So yes, the magmas are going to be extra little cute little babies because they're magma, they're kind of infants. But as they upgrade into igneous rock, they're going to look a little stronger, a little more fierce. And eventually the metamorphic rocks are going to look like these monstrous dragons. So that's the game. Please let me know what you guys think. I'm tired, like I mentioned, I'm tired of hoarding these ideas. I want to start showing them off and getting feedback and getting help. You know, why take away the fun of sharing things you love out of fear of ideas being stolen? However, if you are going to steal one of my ideas, don't let it be this game. This is my baby. Steal any other thing you want. Well, seriously, I would love any thoughts, any help, any feedback. The color palette, I mean, it's brown and yellow. I do not like that. If you have any better suggestions for color palettes, for component changes, are these too small? Should this thing be an essential board for everybody? Or is it nice to have a little player aid built in to your player board? I don't know. Feedback, guys. I'd love feedback. If you want a PDF of this, I'm be more than happy to provide you a PDF. If you want a play test, oh my gosh, you will be my new best friend. Yeah, if you'd like to be involved with the Limestone Cowboy in general, we are taking applications. Pay is terrible, but I just would love to build a community of creatives just to kind of hang out and make stuff, make cool stuff, make different stuff. Out of the box themes. This will hopefully not just be a geology themed game, but a geology mechanism game where like we are using space and movement as a resource because that's what real geology does. And I don't think I've seen movement as a resource in many other games. So that's Rockslides. Thanks. Awkward goodbye.